love, hear love, speak love, everyone loves Lulu. See love, hear love, speak love, everyone loves Lulu.
What is going on, beautiful? It's me, your girl, Miss Lulu, and every week I have an incredible guest, and this week is no different. Another episode of Everyone Loves Lulu, and I've got with me, he is an artist, he was a musician, still has music in his blood, and also now currently a filmmaker, and we've worked on several projects together. I like to give it up to my boy, David Aure. What is going on, Dave?
Wow, thank you. That was a great intro. I appreciate that.
Oh, well, of course, dude. You made me look good in one of our events that we did, so that's the least I could do.
No, that was all natural. Like, for real. You blew that island reggae out of the water. That was really cool.
Thanks. It was a lot of fun. You saw our struggles with it, so it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, just the first eye. Well, the guitar, you know,
right?
Or not
the microphone.
Yeah.
It was not even the microphone; it was the holder. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
But you guys killed it.
Oh,
yes.
Likewise.
Shout out to all the artists.
Yes, all
especially
the artists.
Lowell Grayson.
Wasn't he? Yeah, who came in with the mic stand?
Yeah.
He saved the day for sure. Well, let's start from the beginning. So, because I want the world to know you, your background, and what it is that you actually do now, and giving back to not only your community, but your talents that you're sharing already. So, you actually grew up here in California, in Southern California.
I did. Walnut, California.
Yeah.
The West Covina 606-909 area.
Yeah, okay. And your parents, like, I love when I had gotten to talk to you a little bit beforehand, and your work ethic, right, is something that I have gotten to experience, and you credit your dad for that.
100%. I got chills when you said that, because I love him to death, and he showed me how to provide for my family now.
Mm-hmm.
I barely saw him when I was a kid, you know, but I knew he loved me because I was provided clothes, food. We were in a really expensive neighborhood, so I was very, very fortunate. He took me to the Philippines. I don't know what year, and I saw the house that he kind of
Grew up in. Oh wow!
And you don't really see it, you know, or believe it
until you're right there.
Until you're right there, where there was not even a toilet, you know. So seeing where he was able to bring me here and provide the way he did, working 2 jobs.
And didn't he always? He was
always
working 2 jobs.
Even when my mom got sick, so he left the second. So he's a blood technician for the hospital, which I think is like a scientist.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which is really cool. So he made good money, but he would work 2 jobs to get, you know, a lot of money. And he was doing 2 hospitals, which the hours were crazy. So when my mom got sick, he became a realtor. So he studied.
Wow. While he was working 2 jobs.
While he was working 2 jobs.
And being a dad.
He studied. So when my mom got sick, he took all her clients.
Wow.
And then that was his 2 jobs, and that's how he provided for us, you know. And I didn't think much about it, but now looking back at having a child and being married and
how much what it takes to actually provide for them.
Yeah, and I don't own a house. You know, my goal is to own a house one day. Right now I'm renting, and
hey, that's all right.
Yeah,
you're still providing a roof for your son, you know.
And the goal is to work double until I could get that roof, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the goal.
Well, that's pretty amazing. And so dad, I mean, mom and dad seem to have worked and provided for you. Do you have siblings?
No, I'm the only one.
You're the only one.
I know. I'm one of those.
No, that's okay though. I mean, you really don't come off like a spoiled little brat, but maybe I need to get to know you more. No.
Yeah.
I'll ask Michelle, your lovely wife.
I think I'm spoiled in a way that there's times, Michelle will attest to it, that I do solely think of what I'm doing at that moment. I think that's why I hyper focus. And sometimes she'll tell me, she's like, you didn't
Like,
even ask me.
hello.
Yeah. Like, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna go because I gotta go. She's,
And she's like, that decision affects me, so
yeah,
I
yeah.
might want to have a say in it a little
So
bit.
that is my only child syndrome that I'm trying to learn to
Uh,
get out. Yeah.
That's okay. The first thing is identifying and actually,
And a
admitting
problem.
that
Yeah.
you got issues. No, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding. Okay. So then mom and dad are no longer here with us, right?
Yes. Yeah. My mom, she strong woman, that strongest woman I still know to this day. And I said that she suffered 2 strokes, right? But the first
Yes.
one,
And she
she
fully
fully recovered.
recovered.
And the second one, it affected her. But at the same time, when my dad got the license, the truth is my mom was actually doing majority of the work on that end because she knew it.
Right.
My dad was like the face and was like
Mhm.
talking, but my mom was like really still working while she was sick. Then my dad obviously passes away first.
I know.
Yeah. So
That, I mean, especially just hearing you talk about it, I'm like, wait, I do remember your dad passed away a year before your mom, right?
yeah, so it was crazy. I think she was heartbroken. And as much as I tried to be my dad, I realized there's not the same type of it wasn't the same type of love. I tell people who go through it or who's going through it, like when their parent is sick, like the main thing is to realize, because this is what I realize now that I wish I knew, because I would try to take my mom to dinner, right? But I'm not dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um,
And there's just certain things that they've shared that nobody else
mhm.
has shared, and they haven't, nobody else can relate to what they've gone through or that friendship, especially when they've shared a relationship and friendship for so long. And yeah, you're the child and you've been there every step of the way, but now you having your own wife and your own kid, you realize how different that
It
is.
is. Yeah, and um, I just remember thinking like, oh, I tried, you know, to get to be there for my mom. And I think when she saw that we were having a family, she said it to me. She said, "I don't want to be a burden anymore." And so, I tried my best to not make her feel a burden, right? But she was sick. We had a house that we were struggling to pay because my dad was like huge income.
Right.
Um, then my fiance at the time was pregnant. So I'm gonna tell this story because this is crazy. So I went to Disneyland with my fiance. So my mom was texting me. This is the day before she passed away. She was texting me. She's like, "Hey, I feel like there's something wrong with my like breathing." And because I've always heard it, I'm like, "Oh, just sit down a little bit." And so
Chill,
I'm kind of like, yeah,
relax.
just chill, relax, because I'm at Disneyland.
Right.
Don't think something's gonna, happen big. But I kind of prolong it. Then she keeps telling me, she's like, "No, something's really wrong." When you're in the middle of Disneyland and you're trying to rush out now, because now I'm like, okay, this is like something
Something's
serious.
really wrong.
You can't tell everybody to get out the way. So, it took me way longer to get there. By the time I got there, the ambulance were there. Then we take her to the
Was it
ER.
ER?
ER, yeah. And then she was feeling more pain. And
And this
I-
was in Walnut?
we were living, no, we bought a house in Yorba Linda.
Oh, okay.
That me and my dad bought, but he was,
Right.
majority paying. But we weren't able to afford it. That's
Right.
true. We were having struggles. Um, but I remember feeling like this is not real. Like, cause when you have a stroke, sometimes there's pain that's kind of like overbearing, and I still didn't believe it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Um, then the next day, they're like, oh, she has to go through surgery. She's gonna have heart failure, but because of her condition,
It's so risky.
You might want to talk to your mom. So then everything like hits. It's like, oh man, this is like
Life or death, literally.
yeah. And my mom at that moment was like, I don't want to do the surgery. which means she's like,
She's okay to
she's
go.
okay. She's okay to go. I tell her, and I'm like, I understand. But Michelle was in the room with me, and she's
Michelle's
pregnant.
pregnant. This is, you want her to at least see your baby.
Yeah. So I asked her to fight. So she went to surgery when she didn't want to, and then then she came. They finished the surgery, but she never came out of it. And that's like the one thing for me where I was like, you know, even to her dying day, she fought for me one more time. And that's why to me, like, she's like the strongest woman I know. Like, she was already done, but she knew at least that I wanted to see her see my son,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm okay. Like, I got Michelle, and our legacy goes on because you're the only child, and
I know.
they're growing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's the next generation of them, and that's really cool. I'm so sorry, but so do you have regrets of asking her to actually fight one more time?
I do. I mean, at that moment, I know that she was heartbroken and done already. So I probably should have, you know, let her go. But I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like. I can't. Maybe I already knew already, but in my mind and my soul, I couldn't tell my mom,
Like,
let go.
yeah.
You know, that
And
wasn't.
you couldn't accept for yourself
Yeah.
her just dying
Yeah.
without at least doing one last stand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough
It was.
position to be
Yeah.
in. I mean, but on the bright side of that, the fortunate part is that you were able, she was of sound mind and body to be able to make those decisions, you know? And
Yeah.
because a lot of the time we don't get that option. And we don't get so lucky.
That the crazy thing about, to say lucky, right? Because I agree, especially with the way that my parents passed away. So one, my dad had the worst cancer, which is very painful, right? But at least me and him got to really talk, and we knew, right? And then we didn't know how to talk.
Right? I was
because
going to say, how was your relationship?
We didn't talk.
He's always
much.
gone working.
He was always gone working, but we always watched Lakers game together.
Okay.
So that was our thing. I think we really, now that he was always home, you know, we watched Lakers game together. We would have dinner. So that was our way of finally like having that moment. If he had a sudden death, he would have kept working like my mom to the dying day. So I
Yeah.
would have never had that moment. Then with my mom, yeah, that she fought. I think most people would, you know, just
You're like, give up,
Just
or
give up.
yeah, or
But
saying
she
like,
fought.
son, I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
not going through the surgery. I just don't want to do it.
I could tell my son that story, and he could be inspired.
Right.
You know, and that's the legacy. I mean, her legacy is way beyond, you know, than that moment. But to me, like, I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
So,
And now you get to capture it in everything that you do, especially with
Yeah.
film. So, you lost mom and dad 2017 and
18.
dad in 2018, right?
Opposite. Yeah.
Oh,
flip.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And so it's still kind of fresh. And then your son was born when? On the 2018 or 2019?
2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And so tell me about that. Like, you meet your let's start from where you actually make the baby, right? I'm like, we don't have to go into detail about that,
Yeah.
but you met Michelle, your beautiful wife. You guys worked together.
Yeah. The Microsoft store, so retail store in Costa Mesa.
I love this story when I was reading it.
Yeah.
So, like, in your bio that you sent me, which I really appreciate, the novel. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
know, right? You guys should see that. Yeah,
it was
that's
great
crazy.
to drink with my coffee and breakfast this morning. No, but yeah, that story is just so endearing. So you definitely have to share it.
For sure. So when we met at Microsoft, right? She was taken. I'll actually rewind. So I had a manager. Damn, I forgot his name. Sorry. But I had a manager there, and he told me, he's like, oh, I interviewed a girl that I think you might like. And he kind of like winked at me. I was
You're like, okay,
I guess,
cool.
right? And
And you were single.
I was single.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you for that preface. Yeah. Then she comes like into the store, and I'm like, oh, damn, she is cute. You know.
And so you knew at this point that that's who he interviewed.
I was, yeah, because she was the only one that got hired.
Okay,
at
got
that
it.
moment. So I was like, okay, this is it. I mean, this is not
Right.
it. This is her. Not
Love at
it.
first sight.
Yeah,
She's the one.
Yeah, and we would kick it. You know, I would try to ask her to kick it, but she was actually taken.
Yeah, she
the
was seeing
moment.
someone.
Yeah. Then
Which was a great quality that she wasn't tempted by you.
yeah, no, I mean that's I think that's what makes it beautiful and why I'm able to do what I'm doing now, because she didn't even make me feel a certain way when I was reaching out to her.
Right.
So I know if someone's reaching out to her now, like I just trust it.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. That's huge for me, especially from the past relationships I've had. They were usually like very jealous.
Mm-hmm.
So to see her in the way that she is, like she's comfortable in who she is,
Mm-hmm.
and she's not like trying to sway anybody into her world,
Right.
if they're not supposed to be in there. So I had mad love from her, mad love for her from the beginning.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And carrying on with that, so finally, when was the moment? I think you got really sick, right?
Yeah,
when you were working.
Thank you for bringing that. Like,
yeah.
I was hungover. We actually were all partying. I was
Mhm.
hungover, so I came to the back. I'm like, oh man, I'm not ready to go to work. And she's like, oh, just drink this Vietnamese coffee. I was like, oh, that's really nice. Like, that's one of the rare like conversation we finally really had. You know? And that's nice, because if I'm in the store 6 a.m. and I have one coffee, I'm not giving that coffee away. You know what I mean? So I was
You're like, it's your fault for being hungover.
Yeah,
and you didn't pick up a coffee for yourself. So.
Yeah. So she gave me that, and I was like, oh, all right, I'm gonna try it. Yeah.
I'm gonna make my moves
Yeah.
now, or at least kind of see where it's at.
So she finally got single.
Do you think you had something to do with that?
No.
Okay.
No.
It
No,
just was coming to it.
Yeah.
End.
That's
Okay.
that's her side. But no, for sure I didn't.
Yeah.
And that's what's dope. But I know. So when I actually started reaching out to her to kind of like kick it, to go out to dinner, she's like, no, I'm good. Finally, you know, I kind of tricked her. I told her we were at work. So preface, we were at work.
Mm-hmm.
I said my car doesn't work.
And it did actually?
It did. So
Tricky.
I tricked her. Yeah, I told her, hey.
I thought she just got really hungry and finally she's like, fine, I'll go to dinner with you.
Yeah. So I tricked her into like taking me to, my car was actually at the store.
Mm-hmm.
So she took me home. But before going home, I was like, oh, I want to say thank you. So I got her dessert. At the time, I'm texting my homie Nathan. I'm like, hey bro, you gotta pick me up because I gotta go get my car back at the store. I'll explain to you what just happened, you know.
Oh my god. But you, at this point, you still haven't admitted to her that your car works.
No.
Gosh.
So she's finally, after we eat the dessert, she's taking me home, and I'm like, so you want to kick it Friday? She's like, no. How about Saturday? I'll think about it. I think finally, like the Friday following, she's like, all right, fine. And I swear to God, ever since that Friday, we haven't stopped kicking it since.
Oh, that's awesome.
Crazy. It's crazy.
That is crazy. I mean, just all the things. Well, and you think about like when you find your partner. I mean, even with myself and how crazy our story
what's
is.
up, Mata?
Right? And how crazy our story. So many things have to literally align, or certain things have to happen for those moments to happen. And any which way it could have not. Right? Like,
that's so true, yeah.
Like if, say she had a bad interview, you know, and then get hired, you would have never
like,
met her.
Oh man,
she's really cute, but
she's not getting hired.
Not getting the job, you know.
Yeah.
And then when she was in a relationship, and if that relationship never ended, you would have never had those moments, you know.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh, we know that.
Yeah. I met him because we would party.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
But no, much respect to him because he had great taste.
Yeah, period.
Yeah.
I mean, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so then ever since then, you guys have been together, and I love, we were just talking about it, and just your confidence, and not a lot of men are, for lack of a better phrase, like lovey-dovey or give props to their partner in that way, or at least maybe that's because not a lot of men are secure in themselves, maybe. But I love a huge portion of your success now and you following your path now was due to the fact that your partner is who she is.
Totally agree. She has my back no matter what. And she believes in me. I think when I have crazy ideas because I'm a musician,
Yeah.
I'm a
So you
songwriter.
have
So
that artistic mind,
yeah,
creative mind, always going.
yeah, I'm always going. So when I have an idea, she doesn't question it. She just lets me kind of ramble, lets me kind of like figure it out, and then when I fall into it, like she allows me to really learn about what I want to learn. I don't know. I've never dated anyone that allowed me to do that. When my other relationships, they were always like, "Why are you in the studio late?" And I'd be like,
doing a little bit more possessive, more
"Yeah,
like
yeah."
needy.
And it's funny, like her and Kai now kind of, they never asked me, but me thinking, am I gonna be in the studio at 2 a.m. now? Can I write music? And for them to man up and make me realize what I need to do without even asking me it's great that I could say that I made that decision myself.
Yeah, and you were,
That's because she
in a
let
sense,
me.
you grew up, right? Like,
Yeah, no, totally. Because my parents just passed away, and being an only child, you're fully indebted to your parents. You know what I mean?
And very reliant on them.
Yeah. So and
dependent.
This is the first time in my life where I'm able to think for myself and my family. Where my parents are my family, but when all of that is mixed in, like you're not. You know what I mean? And so,
and then it almost becomes, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't have a safety net. Like mom and dad were your safety net, right? Like
exactly.
You are the safety net now, and you have
Yeah.
to create that yourself. And if you fall, like you have to be willing to get back up and find a way to.
That's facts. That's facts. Because I think when I was making music,
well, let's go into that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you before the whole filmmaking, which we'll definitely get into, you were a musician.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's talk about that.
I wasn't good at it. But for some reason I was very persistent on it.
Yeah.
And I loved performing. I originally was in a rock band with two of my close friends. Well, there's 5 of us, but it started with 3 of us first. TJ and Ronald, they were listening to Incubus, like a rock band. And I think even Michelle Branch. I don't know if anyone.
Yes, love her.
Yeah. So
haven't heard her actually in a while, but that's funny.
Yeah, they were playing the guitar, and I would just sing. My parents always made me sing karaoke, so that was just a natural. Filipinos.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to generalize, but
No,
all the Filipinos
facts,
in my life,
facts.
all karaoke.
That is
and
true.
They do it hardcore, and they're really good.
We drink, we sing, gamble, and yeah, all of that. So, but yeah,
you party.
Party.
You're a good time. Yeah, I will agree with that. There's always an event. There's always something going on, somebody's birthday, any excuse, at least with all my Filipino family or my Filipino friends. It's like, oh, my cousin's got this, my aunt's got this.
So true.
Like,
we just want to party.
Yeah.
That is so true. Yeah.
Okay, so you're referencing Michelle Branch.
Oh,
your
yeah,
group,
yeah. So
your rock group.
They're playing it, so I'm singing, and then we're like, oh, let's write some music together. So I actually had some recording stuff. So we wrote something, and I knew that I had a friend that played bass, Mike, and then his brother played drums.
Okay.
So we were supposed to do like a one-time show at Cal Poly with one of my songs that I wrote with TJ.
Uh-huh.
But the show actually got canceled. Couldn't rain because it rained.
You actually got rained out.
Yeah, it did. But we kept playing the music. Like we were like, oh, this was fun. So that's how that band formed, and I learned so much because they were all better musicians than me.
Mm.
So I got lucky. They made me look good. And B, that I loved performing.
Yeah. So you found that out about yourself that you didn't realize before.
Yeah.
Okay. You're comfortable on stage.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't even know if I'm like I'm not a good singer, but I enjoyed singing.
That probably, I could totally see that though in your personality, that it probably would have came through whether you were an okay singer or not. Whatever vibe you were putting through, it was so sincere and genuine that they would feel it in the audience.
That's what people loved about us, and we were doing really, really well. We sold out, our own like headline show for like House of Blues.
What?
Yeah, so we were doing well.
What's your band name, or what was your band name?
Off Vibe, OFFVIBE.
Nice.
I think we're only on MySpace now.
Oh my gosh, MySpace.
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Yes, for sure. I had to
dope.
check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, paint me the picture of what you guys actually physically looked like. Like, did you have crazy rock hair? Did you?
My bassist did. He had the long hair.
Oh, nice.
I had.
You had guy liner on or what?
I colored the hair of my tips. I don't remember what color, but I would wear the tight shirts, the tight pants. I still do. A little bit, and I probably only weighed like 115.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I was really barely not eating anything. I was just partying and drinking.
Yeah.
At that time.
The rock star diet.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. I still love rock music. That's like I listen to everything: rock, R&B. Hip hop.
Well, what is that song actually that you wrote that you're gonna play for Cal Poly?
It was, oh man, I think it was for. Dang, that's a good question. If I remember the name, it's For Now.
Okay.
For Now.
Well, we're definitely gonna have to.
No, you don't ever want. I don't think we ever recorded
that
and
one?
let it go. Only our close friends.
Oh, okay.
Have it, but I think a song to look up is my Off Vibe and Tomorrow.
Okay.
Or Capacity were the records that people loved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to check it out for sure.
Yeah.
And what were they about? Were they love songs? Were they what you guys were going through?
I think mixture of all of that.
Okay.
I was always like in a relationship, so I did. I mean, not in maybe, but like trying to get to know people. I'm very like out there, I'll
You're
talk to
outgoing,
anybody. Yeah. So I would just talk about relationships that we've had. And if you look into it, I think like my favorite record, Tomorrow, right, was dealing with issues that I was like going at that period of time mentally.
Oh,
Okay. And so.
And what was it like? More of how unsure you were, or just growing pains, or
it was
self-identity issues?
I think it was all of that. Like I was dealing with a family issue at that time where I didn't tell anybody yet, and then so I could say I'll say it here because I'm pretty,
open about your
open
journey.
about it. I mean, well, maybe not.
Okay,
not today.
Okay.
But I was going through something that didn't hit me until I started drinking, and so I would just
let that out. When you did hit that point when you were drinking.
Yeah.
You also, I mean, I definitely want to touch on that because that's a success story in itself. How you've been sober now, so that's a foreshadowing a little bit.
I'm trying.
But you then, after the band, you kind of pursued a solo career.
I did.
In R&B?
It was R&B. I tried mixing some rock, but it's just never the same. I'm not as good as musicians as they were, but I would like sample, those live sounds. But I met a good friend. Shout out Ma, but his real name is Irving Arturo.
Okay.
I love this man to death. He has a new song, Pomegranate Delusions.
Wow, that sounds really cool.
It is epic.
Pomegranate Delusions.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of gives me the same, or I think about watermelon sugar. It's like, are we doing fruits now? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
like
yeah.
watermelon sugar. There's
Yeah.
Pomegranate Delusions, which is really cool.
He really scoped me as like a musician,
Mm.
you know. So I was in this point in my career as like I was willing to throw in my own money, right? So
That's how much you believed it and how much you loved it and wanted to do it. Okay.
yeah. So I was searching for a studio. So not I had a home studio, but I wanted to go to a studio and get the vibe, and I didn't care what it cost at that moment to kind of do it, right? So
and at this point, you don't have a
I don't have my
fiance, and Michelle's not in your life yet, or is she?
She not yet. I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I was working at Microsoft.
Okay.
But I don't know when
she actually came in, and your music was still going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no. She did. She was there. She was there. Oh, good. Yeah. Okay. So she was there because, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm searching for a studio, then I'm talking to the engineer, which is Irving, right? And I'm like, I told my homie, my friend Reno was with me. I'm like, I'm not gonna choose this first studio. I want to go to every other studio to find out the feel that I want. I sit down there. He's showing me his music. He's showing me like R&B. He's showing me rock, things that he's produced and even wrote for himself in a mixture of hip hop, and that like sold me. Like he was so eclectic of what he wanted to kind of do, and he was willing to dabble in everything. Like I liked that mindset, that because I did everything too. I was in a rock band transitioning to R&B with some hip hop. So what better person to kind of
guide you and help you.
Guide me. And at that moment, he was more like, I don't think he knew that it was going to be that type of relationship. It was just to be a sound engineer.
Yeah.
But for every person that I meet in my life, I always trust, like that's my first.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I feel like that's why our relationship was so good, because he tells me I'm his first like client that would record and be like, so what do you think? And so we were executive producing together.
Yeah.
Versus like, I'm just paying you.
Yeah.
And then you record me.
X, Y, and Z, right?
If I showed you his first music then, it was good. When you listen to his music now, he's just amazing. Incredible. He's an amazing musician. And because I saw him study the way we did to kind of like write, I think even by the time we released my music, we worked so hard on trying to perfect a certain sound that we thought that we would love, or that we do love, that we never learned how to market ourselves, And so when I'm going deaf ears and I'm the only one that thinks I'm dope,
right?
But yeah,
you have to start somewhere. You know what I mean? Yeah. And half the battle is believing in yourself and actually enjoying what it is that you do. Yeah. So the fact that you didn't have to worry about that's cool. And then you're going, oh shit, probably should have asked some other people to listen to this. Yeah. So I focus group or something.
I vested in, but I'm glad I did, because I tried.
Well, and those lessons are priceless. Yeah. You were able to have that time, because time you never get back. But you at least paid it. You paid your time, right? Like that was the currency, was time, in order to have these invaluable lessons, and you still use it to this day, which I'm pretty sure.
And I want to add too. So Michelle made my cover art.
Oh.
So at that time she was working at Microsoft, but she was being
like a designer. Okay.
On the side, or going to school for it. So I asked her. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do it for free. Do it for free." I was like, "No, I'm gonna pay you."
That's so cool.
And then side story, Lulu did the same thing for me. We were at our first shoot together, and they didn't have a budget, and you said, "I'm gonna take care of you." Like, that to me means so much, and that's why I went to Joel. I didn't have to, tell Joel. I was like, "No, we're splitting."
Oh,
and
awesome.
That's like,
I'm so glad.
Yeah, that's
that I'm at least like on the same level as Michelle. You know what I mean?
we appreciate, people, and I think that's like why we connected so fast.
Absolutely.
So
and I always, I'm the same way. That's interesting. We're learning that here, or at least I am, about your trust. For me, that's always been one of my things, is that I go into any relationship, I meet you, I trust you. Whereas a lot of people, you need to build trust. For me, you lose trust, right? Like I automatically give you trust from the get. It is your, it's your responsibility to lose it. And once that happens, then I'm a little more cautious, but I'm all in, bright-eyed, and I was like, I trust you. What's your name again? Like,
yeah, that's me. That's us.
Right, that's us. Yeah. And look at us. We're here now. I love it.
You got a rock star. Right. I got a rock star.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so did the cover art. Michelle did the cover art for my first album, which was called, do you remember? The Chase.
Yeah.
And was that kind of sounds like it's about Michelle, like you're just like chasing.
I was
dreams,
chasing the
her.
fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was I was single for a good minute and I was enjoying, that. So I wrote, and partying with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My favorite song on that is called Perch LA, and it's a bar that we would always go to in LA, a rooftop, and just writing about the moments of like us dressing up.
Yeah.
Like that's cool to me, I don't know, just getting ready,
that whole
trying to look fresh to have fun.
Make a statement, make an entrance.
Yeah, I love that album because it was a good time for my life.
Mm-hmm. And your own self-expression.
Yeah.
Did you have an artist name?
So at that time it was Nov Sounds.
Okay.
NOVSOUNDS, which is November for my birthday. Nov Sounds. I don't know. I was never good at creating names.
I was thinking more that it was like novel sounds, like it was like brand new sound.
I know. I don't know.
But
why.
November, sure. Like
I don't know why people didn't tell me this. But I mean,
So at the time it was Nov Sounds,
Nov
and
Sounds.
then it became.
I switched it to Fira, which represented the number 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
and so the number 4 is significant to you for.
It symbolizes me and Michelle. The number 4 always just keeps showing up.
Okay.
So that's like what it kind of derived from. But I love my music that I did with Fira. I still have that up on Spotify.
Okay,
so
I'm gonna have to check it. Yeah.
RA.
Please check it out. FYRA. Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you love about your music with Fira? As Fira?
Me and Irving were at the top of our
like creative space. Okay.
And like we studied like writers like Max Martin, who is a genius songwriter. He writes like the biggest pop records. Not that we were striving for pop, but what drew our attention is like how is someone through 3 decades still relevant hits?
Wow.
And he talks about the theory of like getting to the verse right away, getting to the chorus before 40 to 50 seconds, and how it was like math to him.
Mm-hmm. There was a formula. There was a specific formula.
And so
I hear that now, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you think about like your favorite records, it starts. There's not a big intro, But I think musicians like me, at that time,
to prolong
it, and then we say like, oh, we want to get you in the vibe, But
you've already lost us.
Yeah. So sometimes just going straight into it, that's the vibe already.
Yeah. Right.
And I love that. That's always been there.
Well, one of the artists that I think made that very apparent was Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
He just like cuts to the chase, right? I mean, he will even start a cappella or he'll one drop beat and he's in
already
it already.
In it.
Yeah. And I can see how successful he is. It's like, okay, so he must have something going on
cool.
too.
Yeah. Shout out Bruno.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that, but that's so true.
Yeah, and he's Filipino too, so no, and that's cool that you got to learn that in your process. So at what point did you decide, you know what, I love this so much, but I'm no longer going to do this? When did you come to that realization?
2 years ago. Oh no, I mean, when Kai was born 2 years ago. So
reality really hit.
I think I knew it, so something was coming. I was writing a lot of music, so before he was born, I was like writing songs a lot. I think subconsciously I knew something was gonna change like in my life, because I was like, man, I released a lot of music that no one really heard, because I didn't know how to market it.
You're like Prince. It's like gonna be in this vault somewhere. Oh, you're gonna be super famous after you're gone.
Yeah.
They find all your music.
hopefully. But I remember I said everything, and then I released it, and it didn't. My friends loved it, my family loved it, but
Because they knew you.
yeah, but I didn't know how to present it to like new people.
Like, again, you didn't know how to market yourself.
Yeah.
Got it.
So when Kai was born, I told Michelle that I can't keep making music because
It's not paying the bills.
it's not paying the bills.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
I know that all too well, being a musician's wife.
No, but they're doing well. So shout out Karma King.
Well, they're getting there, but it took some blood.
Oh yeah,
sweat.
yeah. You've been there. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah. You've been there from day one.
like, and I swear every song is about me. Okay,
Right?
like, still waiting for my 15%. Talking to them like, babe, didn't we just have this argument? How am I a lyric now already? And where are the proceeds for this?
I'm in the studio sessions. I see it.
Right?
It's crazy. Now I'm gonna like pay attention more.
Yeah,
to it.
right.
What
happened? And then
with
text
you
me
two?
like, hey,
You guys
sis.
cool?
Damn, Mato was like,
Yeah.
he wrote this song in 5 minutes. Is something going on?
Yeah. JK.
Right. No,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, so when you told Michelle that, did she give you that moment too? I mean, you came to it on your own,
Yeah.
and kind of like the way that she just lets you
She-
kind of talk it through yourself.
Yeah, I was surprised that, she would listen. She kind of let me go through it. And I think after a week, she's like, are you sure? And then, what I love about her too, like, there's times that, like, music will go on and she'd be like, do you miss it?
And of course you do.
Yeah. There's parts like the performing. I don't know about the writing anymore because I feel like I did say everything, especially not to be a sobber, but like when my parents passed away.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emotion that is different when you lose, I could say, both parents, right? Like, I don't go to funerals the same way, so the pain that I would have, it's more tolerable.
Mm-hmm.
And then the love that I have now is exceeding, like, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I guess I could write about that, but that wasn't my thing.
Right.
But yeah, so I feel like I said everything that I need to say. But I do miss performing,
Yeah.
just being in front. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why we have Everyone Loves Lulu, so
Yeah,
that you can
yeah.
come and
That's why I
perform.
asked, can I come up and talk about myself?
Yes, totally. Anytime.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
come on through.
That's my only child syndrome. See?
Right. You're like,
Yeah.
come on. What about me, though?
Exactly. But I love everyone.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what? You now not doing music because you need
Yeah.
to pay the bills, so you decided to, like, what are you gonna do? What did you do?
I got very lucky. I got recruited from QSC Audio on
Okay.
LinkedIn. Shout out Adam. He reached out to me. He's like, hey, I saw you worked for Microsoft and Bose. We have a new role that we're opening up at QSC. You want to come in?
Wait, I don't even think we mentioned, what did you do for Microsoft in Bose?
For Microsoft, it was a sales rep.
Okay.
And training. So I was like their business specialist. Is that there? Oh no, I'm not sure. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but it's not the BSM, like not the highest, but I was like helping the
like an assistant of
Yeah.
that. Okay.
And then for Bose, also a sales rep, going to assistant manager for a store, but it was like a smaller store.
Okay.
So QSC, to be honest, I never really heard of
Right.
QSC, right? But they're a live sound audio, also doing with QSys, like a paging system.
Oh, cool.
And also theater. So they're a huge company. And I think Quilter sponsors Common Kings.
Oh, yes. I mean, yes.
Yeah. So,
Well, Quilter does. Yeah.
yeah. So, so
Mainly Mata a lot of the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
I have quite a few quilters in my place.
they called me to come in to interview. I met Perry. I love this man. He's an amazing human being. I aspire to be like him. He's he's a great man. Yeah. But he interviewed me, and then I was at the time already leaving Bose, so I actually had like another job offer.
Mm-hmm.
And so being married and with a kid, for the first time I was really honest to someone that was interviewing me, because he told me, he's like, I really like you, and so you asked for the sell. All right, so when can I start? And then we're laughing, and I told him, like, no, seriously, because I have a job offer.
And I have a family and
I have
my
a
kid.
family. And so I was honest with him. It was actually the truth. I told him I have to take this job, but I don't want to. I would rather work here. You know what I mean? And I know their process was like usually like a month, because he was telling me, he's like, oh, there's more interviews. It's probably gonna be a month. I was like, I can't, because I have to provide for my family. He loved me. I'm assuming, because I mean, no, he
'Cause you're
liked
there,
me.
right?
Yeah, he liked me a lot. He liked me a lot. That he rushed the process and then got me hired. Soon after that,
Wow.
COVID hit. Yeah.
Ay.
Yeah, the pandemic hit, and
And when was Kai born? 2019, what month?
March, April, May, June. No,
Okay.
May.
Okay, so he was born in May. And so now fast forward to 2020, it's like March.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
March.
when things are like about to shut down.
Yeah, so I'm actually, it's my first week, or maybe my second week, right, that I'm there, and they're sending everyone back home.
Oh.
I just took the job, and I'm like freaking out now.
Yeah,
because
of
I think I
course.
might lose my job. We're going through meetings, Zoom call, like how everybody's trying to familiarize what's gonna happen, and I'm hearing there's like layoffs happening. Yeah.
And your heart is pretty much coming out of your chest.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man.
What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah. So I have the conversation again with Perry, and this is why I love him. I told him my scenario, and I was like, I just need to know. He said, I don't know.
No.
Yeah. He's like, but I'm gonna fight for you because I believe in you, right? So, but I like that, because at that time I didn't know. Me and Michelle were trying to figure out what we were gonna do. you
Yeah.
know? Luckily, the indecision is that they kept me. And
Which is the best possible
the best
decision,
possible
that
decision.
outcome that could have happened, right?
And he fought for me, Perry. Like, I'm so appreciative of him, because if he didn't take me early on before the pandemic happened, I wouldn't have.
No, there's no way.
There's no one was hiring.
You're right.
Then the second is that he fought for me to stay when I saw other people who were there for years,
Who actually left
were
were let go.
Let go. And so
Whew.
I know.
How do you feel about that? No, I'm just kidding.
No. Honestly, I was in the meetings. I was
wow.
like, I was very quiet, because we never met, and so they know I was probably the last person to get hired. But he trusted in me, and I've proven, that I'm doing well.
But I mean, that's a testament, though, in not only your skill, but also just the power of somebody believing in. Just that alone, doesn't that make you want to never disappoint them and go the extra mile to make sure that you fulfill whatever belief that they have in you?
Hell yeah. Because like today I called him, as you know, I'm going to a shoot to Vegas
this weekend.
But I still work Monday to Friday. So I called him, and I'm working remote, so he doesn't need to know.
Right.
But
as long as you're getting your work done.
Yeah. But I wanted to tell him, I was like, hey, tonight I'm driving up to Vegas. So when I take my 8 a.m. call, I'm not going to be here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's that type of relationship that...
Well, that transparency, you've already set that tone now.
Yeah.
And honesty, dang, is honesty really the best policy?
I
I gotta quit lying?
So. I think so. I mean...
I never lie to you, babe, ever.
I think for me, that was probably one of my issues before, is that I was always a people pleaser. So I would lie, maybe I would hide something to make someone happy.
Yeah. You wanted to let or say what they wanted to hear.
Yeah. So it was the first time in my life that I felt like I could. I mean, maybe because my parents passed away, and now I kind of had be out of it, you know? And so
be your own person at this point.
The only thing I could do is really just, I have to be honest, and I always trust people, but I gotta be a better man, and hopefully whoever I'm dealing with will respect that and treat me the same way. And he does. Perry's dope. Love you, Perry.
I love you too, Perry.
Yeah.
Like, totally now.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking care of our boy.
Yeah.
Well, I have the same relationship, with my founder and my partner, Joe Saab. And I'm not just saying that because he's looking right at me, and also our team here at Island Block Network, with my boy R&D and Anthony and AD. And we just have, and Dub, like that kind of trust, right? And that belief in each other. And I will tell you how many times that I've kind of wanted to throw in the towel a lot, but just having that belief from someone, Joe believes in me a lot more than I believe in myself sometimes. And to the point where now his belief is so strong in me that I believe it,
He's right. Like your personality, the way that you don't mess up, or if you do,
You would have never known. No,
I
I'm just
never
kidding.
know. You keep going. Like every time I had the camera on, and we're talking about the Island Reggae Night.
Oh, good times.
Yeah, you were always on point, and I think for me that's cool being now behind the camera, and you see that, and it's easy to keep aiming because you're natural. So that's dope. And
well, thank you.
Yeah, the Island Block family, seriously, much love to you guys. I'm grateful you guys believe in me.
Oh,
And
totally.
So that's cool.
We fucks with you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go into now what you do currently. I mean, you're still working with Perry, but then now you also do film. Now, how did that come along?
I bought a used camera to shoot my son Kai, to get
Kinda
some memories. Yeah.
Document his life.
So that's how I got a camera. But how I got into the industry is I was thinking of having an event company. So now that I quit the music, I was like, okay, I work for QSC. I gotta make more money.
Right.
I'm thinking the bag right now,
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I would always promote my shows. I would always, get it full house, and I would get vendors to come out, and I made deals like with the venue.
Oh, cool.
So I was like, man, I could probably do that. I was making like, a couple grand a night, with my band. I'm like, man, I could do this.
That's
so
pretty awesome.
Yeah. So I called two of my close friends, Joe and Arvin. And the reason why I called first Arvin would MC my shows.
Oh, okay. So he had that skill too.
Yeah. And plus, like he's just a great human being to be around. So
he's infectious.
Yeah. So
so he's me.
Yeah.
No, just
yeah. Love you, Arvin. Yeah.
So everyone loves Arvin too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we gotta get a new sign like that too. But yeah, I loved his personality. He always rocked my shows. And for Joe, he's just a smart human being. So
I feel like everybody has to have a Joe in their lives.
Yeah.
Because my Joe is super smart.
Yeah.
And he's like one of the loyalest people I've ever known. And just a go-getter, and he makes shit happen. That's your Joe too.
Yes, it is. He is our reliable guy. He has wear many hats within the ideas that I've had. And he's just like Michelle. I think he's like, let's go, let's rock. You know what I mean? So, so we were trying to be an event company, and to reverse back, that's when the pandemic hit. And
everybody had to kind of switch gears.
Yeah. So, I actually had an event with this guy, Ricky Osnani, amazing artist that you guys sees from Long Beach.
That's my city.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely gotta check him out.
I actually rented out a venue in LA. I upfronted, I think, like $1,000.
Wow.
My idea was to make the whole event free. So I was going to have him paint. He could sell his paintings, and I was gonna have like other music there. So I was trying to make this event big, like an artist worth watching,
right?
Type of thing. So when I invested that money, I was like, okay, COVID hit, I can't go to the venue. Can you give me my money back? They're like,
sorry,
no.
we need
could
it.
give you, which I understand.
Right.
To stay a company, your customers have to understand too, right? So he's like, I can't, but I could give you a refund.
Or a credit.
I mean, a credit.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I appreciate that. Let's do that. Because I didn't know what was going to happen. Maybe I could use it for something else.
Right.
And for some reason, I don't know whose idea it was, but we're like, oh, let's just use the money to do an interview. So that's where Artst Worth Watching actually started doing our first episode. And shout out to That's Cool, Norik That's Cool, because I hit him up and I said, hey, I'm gonna do an interview with you. Come out, you're my homie. But I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, yeah, let's go.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And so keep in mind, we don't know what we're doing, and we just rented out a studio. Like it's a
legit studio.
Yeah, with like camera stuff.
Oh shit.
So he's walking in there with all the lighting. He's like, bro, I thought you didn't know what you're doing. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like these lights I don't know how to put it up. You know what I mean? We had it up, but we like, we.
Yeah, we're not quite sure if that's how it was supposed to be.
Yeah, so we got the footage, and for a 3-minute video that was probably a 1-hour interview because I didn't know how to edit.
Wow.
Yeah, went on YouTube and shout out to you guys for having 18 episodes because I think we're only on our 13, but
no,
that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. It is. A lot of things have to happen in order to. Yeah. I've actually made quite a few apology videos already. I
love those.
During my potty breaks, when you see me in my raw, like as I am. Yeah. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I promise next week. Damn it.
It's amazing how far you guys have gone because our goal is 20. Mm-hmm. And it seems like it's taken forever to get there. Not because we're not having fun. It's just it's a lot of work.
The process, right.
Yeah. So as we're going through the episodes, I still don't know what we're doing. I don't know. Because I had the money, so I had to spend it. So I'm like, okay, let's book another one. I think we have.
We still got credit. Got credit. Yeah. I love it.
So as that's happening, we're learning, we're getting better,
and that's the kind of like. Isn't that the title of your? It's Artst Worth Watching.
Yeah, AWW.
Yeah, which is like
Yeah. So
I'm in awe at all times. That's so great.
See, you should do an interview with Arvin too. Yeah.
Thank
we gotta come in our side. That'd be dope.
I'm like, this is what awe is for, right? He's like, sure, that's what it is.
That is amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's so cool. So Artst Worth Watching, and I got to check out a few. It's hilarious.
So we've pivoted to that, and then I think something happened within the family where we kind of have to separate because I think COVID was getting worse.
Mm-hmm. And baby's still baby.
Yeah, still baby. But I wanted to keep learning, so I found like a park where people were like training. This kid Marcus White, shout out to him too. He didn't know me. I go up to him and I'm like, "Hey, bro, can I film you?" And
not creepy at all.
No, I know. Now when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, "Damn," But he's like, "All right," And then I was like, "I'll tag you." So
that's so cool.
Yeah, I shot it
in LA. I swear.
I know, yeah.
Dude, it's totally okay.
Yeah.
Like, sure, film me. Why not?
So I edit that video, and it's decent.
Mm-hmm.
But I was part of a group chat in Instagram because of Artst Worth Watching. It's like one where you post, and then everyone could kind of like like, comments like that, right? But there was businesses owners that were in there, and so I posted, football, click, and then one of the owners, Desi Does Do's, who's like a salon, right? She's a designer too.
I know, she's cool. Desi Does Do's.
Yeah. She hit me up. She's like, "Hey, how much for your videos?" I was like, "What?" Right? And at this time, I'm like, this is literally the only video I posted besides the artists, which are hard, so look different. So I don't know, so I wasn't posting that on my channel. And then I was like, I don't know, $250, right? And then she's like, "Wow, you're cheap. Let's book."
Oh
it.
shit!
She said it. She's like, "You're charging too much, or you're charging too less."
Yeah, too little.
Yeah. So, but I did it, because my word's my word. But because of that relationship, she connected me with other people. 2 of her friends like booked me, and then I've learned to like not negotiate, but know my value.
Yeah.
And then understand what they need.
I've seen some of your work from, and just even hearing it here on our chat, it's like you grew exponentially, from not knowing how to set up lighting to.
Yeah, I'm still learning.
Yeah, of course, and it's a never-ending process, and it's the same here with us as well. But I definitely remember going back to our Island Reggae nights. It was you. I don't think you were like a ninja. Like a film ninja. And even me and Joe would talk about it. Like, dude, he's everywhere all at once, and not there at the same time, where you weren't in the way, or you weren't like, it was so stealth, you know?
Thank you, thank you.
That was really cool. And then also the turnaround time of getting the product to us, because I mean, that's tends to be a lot. And you know, now doing editing and what that entails and how much
Yeah.
time that goes into, and that's why I don't ever do it, but or have no interest in it, because I see how much
Yeah,
it takes.
I'm looking to hire an editor. Please hit my DM.
You're like,
Yeah.
help me.
Yeah.
No, but so that's so cool. I love to see that that you're growing as well, and that we got to cross paths because you've worked with Common Kings.
Yeah, shout out
They're
Common
kind of a
Kings.
big deal a little bit, you know?
I love them, and
And
I'm
I
at
saw
all.
like your hype videos for them, and I was like, that's who connected me. So thank you, babe, Tom
Yeah.
Montegray, for hooking us up.
What up, guys? What up?
Yeah, because we're lifers, you know?
Hell yeah. My I was shooting my shot. You know,
Yeah.
the story is I just kept texting. I don't know I still don't know who I was talking to.
Yeah, because it was on the Common Kings page,
Yeah,
and I think it was all of them. And Ivan, actually, he tends to really be the one to
okay.
to
Thank you,
organize
Ivan.
that.
Oh man, I love you.
And
Man.
he had brought it up. He's like, dude, this guy, Dave, I don't even know how to say his last name, maybe, but like, he keeps hitting us up,
Yeah.
and why not? Let's give him
Hell
a
yeah,
shot, you
hell
know?
yeah.
And now look, you're
I
like in
didn't-
everything that they do.
Yeah. I remember at that moment I didn't know what really I was doing. I remember freaking out because so it was in San Diego, the first gig that it was like a tour bus that they kind of go out and then
Yes.
they end up at a what's the name of that location?
I can't even. It's Pacific Heights, I think is what it is.
But shout out TC because he runs that event. I'm sorry.
TC is the dude.
Sorry,
He's the
I'm not
man.
getting that name of that event. But I was freaking out because I saw them just put 2 lights, and I was like, wait, this is gonna be really dark. So I'm doing because this is for me. This is a big exposure. Like I was like, I don't want to f up.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
for sure.
And I'm the only one that they asked to
Yeah.
come that night. So I was like,
Yeah.
I really can't f up, right? So I'm calling a few of my friends who know film. I was like, hey, what are my settings for night mode? So last minute I switch it up, you know, and I'm like, I gotta trust what my friends told me, and I gotta just trust I'm gonna get something. And I'm so glad, you know, that I reached out because the footage that came back, you know,
It was so
yeah.
cool.
And it's helping me build a relationship with them that to me they don't know this. Like,
Well, they're gonna know now.
Yeah, they're family to me. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have to reply it back to me, and they didn't have to ask me to come out and shoot and help. And I appreciate like recently. I was there last Tuesday. We were working on 2 videos that I'm pretty excited to release. But you know, sitting with Ivan to kind of like pick his brain on how they want to get it done, and that they
because
kind
Ivan's
of
pretty talented too. His eye for photography, and
for
it's pretty cool.
the car shots, man,
Mhm.
those are dope. But he's willing to sit down with me and tell me what they want and what they like, and since then I've been progressively, I think, getting better, and they've been enjoying the footage that I'm getting. And
I think they are, or else they wouldn't be asking
Yeah.
you back.
that is true. That's true.
I mean, I'd be worried if they weren't calling you anymore, you know?
And I do know, because the reason why I preface that, because I do know that all of the videographers and photographers that they messed with before are way better than me, because they're there. You know what I mean? They've been there, and so the value that they have of like at least wanting to sit down and talk to me, because at the end I may not be their guy, because
Mhm.
I might not be the right person for the job. I don't know everything. You know, if
Right.
they're touring, you gotta hire the right person.
Right.
But they put me in a position where I could say I sat down with a client of the stakes of Common Kings, and I adjusted to what they want, and I gave them what they want, and I planned it out with them. So it's just adding to my resume of, because they are intimidating. You know what I mean? Because if I shoot something and they don't like it, it's Common Kings not liking it. It's it's not my friend not posting it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I'm like, damn, all right, I'll get
But
better.
that just ups your game too, as well, and that's cool that you're surrounding yourself with people that only make you better. You know,
Exactly,
because
exactly.
if you were hanging out with people that were at your level or even less, that's what you're going to end up being. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. I can't believe an hour has already flown by. We've had so
Dang.
much fun. Definitely have to have you back for sure.
Hell
or
yeah.
I have to definitely come on. Oh.
We'll make that happen, Arvin. Better be ready. Better be ready. I'll do a
I'll try
one
not
take,
to
one
like
take.
interview as well, you
We'll
know?
change the
Everyone loves
just
Arvin.
bring that one.
Yeah, that'd be
Just
so
bring
good.
that one. We'll freak them out. We're like, oh, it's actually Everyone Loves Lulu.
All right,
yeah.
on
yeah. You're getting the rep right there.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's put out your information, like your Instagram, all your social
Yeah.
media handles, so that people can actually, appreciate your work. Not only that, but hire you as well.
Yeah,
I'm trying
so-
to give Kai a present, okay?
Yeah. My Instagram is I am David Aure, which is AURE. So I am David AURE. My website is davidaure.com. My email is david@aure.cc. And the reason why you should work with me is because I care. I will figure out if you even need this video. I will figure out how, and if it is for you, how we're going to shoot it. I believe in your product. I believe in what you do. And I believe it represents me. So I will do my best to kill it. So let's connect.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hire him now, okay? If you don't, like, what are you? Come on, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're not ever gonna find anybody as transparent and as cool as this dude, for sure. Thank you so much again for taking
Thank
the time out
you.
and
I love you
being on
guys,
here.
man.
We love you, for
Thank
sure.
you.
I love
Thank
you,
you.
Dave. That was another episode of Everyone Loves Lulu. Make sure you check us out every Wednesday-ish sometimes on islandblognetwork.com. See, hear, speak, love. Again, you definitely want to tell everybody, because special guests like this make it worth it. And that's why we have Everyone Loves Lulu. So big ups to my boy, David Aure.
you.
Man, thank you again.
Thumbs up
Up
for my
and coming
son, Kai.
filmmaker. You saw
Yeah.
it here.
Thank you so
Mwah.
much.
See love, hear love, speak love, everyone loves Lulu. See love, hear love, speak love, everyone loves Lulu.